Um, my name is Barbara Wallach. Most of you know me from various aspects of work and network and community. I know Carmen, you've worked with me before in goal setting a couple of years ago, and Mary, we know each other through our networking and our NLP group, and Christina, who is a chakra dance, a fellow chakra dance sister. So we met through chakra dance. And I just wanted to maybe give a bit of a background before we get into the meat of the workshop, is that the last 35 years for myself personally, I've worked in the financial industry, and I got used to setting goals, financial goals, personal goals, business goals, but those goals were always for the company I worked with. So they weren't necessarily, I was never taught to create goals for myself. It was always the boss coming to me to say, you need to set goals for your business, for your role, and you need to achieve this and you need to do that. And always under sort of the guise and that energetic threat of, if you don't meet your goals, you're not going to get promoted, or you're not going to reach your bonus, or you're not going to get supported. And over the years, that started to wear on me. And I started to get resentful. I wasn't in alignment anymore. I wasn't in alignment with my values. And I started feeling really poorly. And I was very emotional. I was burnt out. It was a horrible place to be. And from that place, I was doing the best that I could, the best that I knew how, in helping others create goals for themselves as a financial planner. And most of the clients, fortunately, most of the clients that I ended up working with at near the end of my corporate career were very, very wealthy people. So their goals were more around, how do I make my money last? You know, they weren't really emotionally set goals. And I didn't know that I should be also setting my own goals. I didn't even know what my values really were 10 years ago. Excuse me. So when I started on this journey of setting my own goals and learning about coaching and energy work and all these things, I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. And I started creating my own business around financial planning and coaching. And the more I got into the spiritual aspect of things, the more I felt that there was something missing. I was still creating goals based on an old way of creating goals, which I felt were very masculine. And so I kept getting stuck. And I would see that in other people as well. And so just recently, in the last 6 months, I you know how the universe provides, right? When you're like, oh, I need something, and I'm manifesting. I'm like, okay, something's missing. There's a missing piece of the puzzle. And so about 6 months ago, and I don't even remember how it came to be, but maybe, my phone was listening to me as it does. And something popped into my feed is probably how it happened. And I discovered Yasmin Boland, and she's an astrologist and a moonologist. And I started with her following the lunar cycles, working with the moon in a way that is more feminine, that is more drawing on the energies. And it started working. Things slowly started to get smoother and smoother and smoother for me. I was manifesting, but it was always very bumpy. And it was a bit of a struggle to actually get through it. And I was still feeling that bit of an emotional angst, even with all the training that I've been through, and neuro-linguistic programming and my chakra work and those sorts of things. I was like, okay, it's not smooth. It's more like running down the river that's overflowing, and it's got rapids and rocks and stuff like that. I kept bumping into things. So in harnessing the energy of the lunar moon, I started feeling better. I started manifesting smoother, and I decided that I was going to make this a huge practice for me in 2022. So that's why this has come to be. And I know Christina doesn't know me as long as the rest of you gals, but I know when Christina and I first started connecting, it was through chakra dance and through creating a membership and what our businesses were going to be like. And even then, Christina, I think, how long ago was that? That was maybe 4 months ago, something like that. And even since then, it's shifted. And I thought I wanted to share all of this amazing information and help guide you in this. And I feel more connected to this work than I've ever felt before. So let's think about this. What gets in the way of you creating the life you want to live? Who wants to share? And let's try and make this a little bit interactive. So what do you feel gets in the way? Sure, Mary. How do you know was I looking at you?
Me, I get in my way. It's my
Yes,
beliefs and the blocks that I have.
right, right. And that's typically the way, right? We are our own worst enemies when it comes to getting in the way of what it is we want. And that's why I thought I would bring up the feel wheel. And so if you got that in front of you, I'll share that on the screen as well. Okay. So do you see that? Do you see the wheel? Is that the only thing you see? Hopefully. Good. Okay. Bring it in. So the feel wheel. We're feeling beings. Feelings are our navigation system as to what is going good in our lives, what's not working in our lives. And it's an indicator of what we're thinking about. And I don't know about you, and please, if you want to share, put a hand up or just pop in. I don't know about you. The reason I really wanted to dive into this today is because I have some predisposed ancestral sadness that has always run through me. And that's the reason I ended up learning NLP, neuro linguistic programming, and hypnotherapy, is because I knew there was something beyond my control that seemed to be controlling my emotions and my moods. I was always sort of gloomy. And so with working with the lunar cycle, and I'm going to get more into that later, the moon is actually all about emotions. She's our emotional guide, our emotional goddess up there in the sky. And I'll get into that later. But that's why I wanted to bring that in, is because we get in our own way. And what gets in the way? The way we feel. Whether when we're happy and we're feeling confident and strong and calm, we get way more done. Nothing can stop us. Things go really, really well. It's when we start feeling sad or fear or anger, and all in the wheel, you've got sad, or that you got hurt, weak, lonely, you feel hopeless. Maybe you've been betrayed by somebody, or maybe you're fearful that, oh my God, I'm insecure. What are people going to think about me? What are they going to say about me? And that stops you in your track. Sometimes people are even fearful over how good they are at something, how I call it the golden shadow. What area of your life are you so good at? And I know you're all really super good at many different things, but you're so good at it that you're afraid to show it. And then with anger, right, we get grumpy, we get bitter. I'm just picking the ones that I feel I can connect to for myself, but jealous, so you get irritated and frustrated. And then then we move into like, oh my God, I'm just going to give up. I'm done. I can't do this anymore because I can't get over myself. Where do these feelings and emotions come from? They come from our thoughts. It's what we're thinking about. So you're feeling your thoughts in the moment. So just think about that. You're feeling your thoughts. You're feeling your thoughts in the moment. So if you're feeling unmotivated or hopeless or anxious or frustrated or irritated, right? Check in with yourself. Ask yourself, what have I been thinking about? Maybe something's happened that's triggered a memory. Oh, as we are on our journey, our unconscious mind collects all the experiences we've had along the way. So everything that we've experienced in this lifetime from birth on, any memories, strong memories, experiences, emotions, traumas can also get passed on through DNA and cellular memory through our parents. And if you are of that belief system where you believe that you have had previous lives, then we can also carry that in our cellular memory, in our DNA, and in the unconscious mind. Our unconscious minds are like supercomputers, and we observe and experience life through our senses, through what we see, through what we smell and hear, and what we feel. And if we are so busy and in our heads, like many women are today, we're in our heads, there's so much to do. We don't spend enough time in quiet to actually process those feelings and emotions. And when that happens, those emotions, those experiences become memories, and they all pile up on one another, and they create these big bubbles of emotional balls of anger, emotional balls of fear, emotional balls of guilt and worry, and all these things. And they get builder. And that's where road rage comes from. That's where we have these crazy experiences, and we say to ourselves, oh my God, why did I react so harshly to what was a very small minor event? Right? Somebody cuts you off, and next thing you know, you're like, rah! You're going crazy. So it's really important to understand that our emotions, whether you experience them, you let them go, and you're done with it, or the traumas, you haven't quite dealt with it yet, to actually spend some time dealing with them and processing them and letting them go. They do not protect you. You would think that being fearful of something would protect you. You would think that not forgetting being screwed over by a former spouse or a business partner, that by remembering that and holding on to that emotion would actually protect you and stop you from repeating that same mistake. But it won't. One, what you think about most, you're going to attract into your life. What your vibration is, you're going to attract more of that like vibration. So it's really important to just ask yourself this question. If there's something that you're reacting to in the moment, is it bigger than the experience in the moment? Is it something in the past that maybe has triggered it you haven't let go of yet? And to ask yourself, do you need to hang on to the emotion, the energy of that event? And if you were to have learned something from that event, can you keep the learning? That is the protection. Your common sense is the protection. Your instincts are your protection. And let go of the energy and the emotion of the event so that you're no longer attached to it. You can detach from the event and look back on it and just be able to go, yeah, that happened to me. I had to do that, for example, when I got pregnant with my daughter, and I ended up having a placental tear, ended up on bed rest. So every second of every day I was living in fear that I was going to lose her. And not only in that, I was going to lose my own life because placental tears, you know, if your placenta becomes detached, you bleed to death basically. So every time I moved, every time I got up, I was living in fear. And she was premature, and even the delivery was traumatic. It was just like crazy. And both of us almost lost our lives during that. And I held on to the emotion of it for a very, very long time. And that energy and that hanging on to that actually created a bit of a barrier and this really weird relationship with her. But when I was able to let it go and detach from the emotional and the vibrational aspect of it, I was able to see clearly that, yes, that happened to me. We are fine. We are healthy. That totally shifted my relationship with her. 100%. Things got easier. Became closer and we were able to have communication. Whereas before we weren't. She was self-harming. She was running away. She was going down a really deep and dark path. She actually was suicidal, ended up in the hospital. She did her own work. She realized she needed to do her own work and she did it. But I also realized that there was something energetically connecting me there that was creating all these emotions and feelings. But when I let go of them, things changed. So the lesson here on the emotions is if you're feeling an emotion that is not beneficial to you, where is it coming from? What are you thinking about? And then you can work on thinking about your thoughts and your memories and the events in the past. Many of you here already understand that and know that. And as much as we know that, it's not always easy to do that for oneself. When we're in it, we're in it. We often can't see out of it. We're so in the problem. But if you have a worksheet or you have something that you can write down on, or even look at this and go, I'm feeling lonely right now. What is causing me to feel lonely? What am I thinking about? Am I ruminating on the lockdown? Am I ruminating on whatever it is? And be able to slowly change the thought. So where do our thoughts come from? They come from our experiences. It's how we narrate every second of every day. You can't even go out the door for a walk in nature without narrating to yourself. So when you go for a walk on a hike in the mountains or you go to the beach, you know, what are you telling yourself when you're on your walk in that event? Oh, look at the trees. Oh, look at the stream. Boy, does it ever smell good. Oh, look at that person over there. So we're consistently communicating with ourselves through our thoughts. With practice, we can slowly quiet our mind, but you need to be in silence and in stillness for that to happen through meditation, through observation. Your thoughts, they're going to come and go, right? They're impermanent. Like everything in life is impermanent. So they come in and they go with the tide, and the tide is connected to the moon and the lunar energies. You are not your thoughts. That is not who you are. And it's just like your emotions. As your thoughts come in and out with the tides, like the tides, they trigger emotions, either turbulent or peaceful emotions, right? But your thoughts also then come in and out, right? We share emotions, we share thoughts. They're not ours. They are not who we are at our core. Energetically, we're energetic beings. Everything is energy. And if we realize that if we tap into that piece of ourselves that's energetic and we become the observer, that inner part of ourselves, I call that our soul or our soul self, the place where we're changeless, where we're infinite, right? Where anything can happen. If that part of ourselves can go look through our eyes and observe the thoughts, observe the emotions and go, oh, look, I'm having this experience right now. I'm curious about it, rather than egoically attach to it and make it who we are. You learn to let that go. It takes a little time, and it is a practice. And I don't care who you are, even or Deepak Chopra or Oprah or Eckhart Tolle, they practice this in and out every single day. So they've probably gotten really good at it. But I'm sure there are still times when they have their moments. As a matter of fact, I have seen Deepak have a moment or two in my work with him in the past. And there was a film that I saw that he was in, and he got all hissy. Get this, Deepak Chopra got all hissy over not having coffee in his room or some such thing. And he got really attached to needing his coffee as one of his things. And I thought that was very, very funny. So if we create this awareness around our emotions, and if we start tying into the lunar cycles, which is basically what we're going to get into next, and we make that a practice of an awareness every day, and we check in every day, then over time, we're going to turn that ship around. And rather than fighting the waves and the storms in the ocean, we're going to allow ourselves to flow with it. So it's like battling upriver. No matter how hard we try to paddle upriver, it's going to be hard. But if we allow ourselves to turn around and go with the river, it takes less energy. Yes? Questions, feedback from here? No? Okay. Why do you need to know this? Goes back to the same question I had earlier. It gets in the way of us creating the life we want to live. It gets in the way of us achieving our goals, our financial goals, our personal goals, our spiritual goals. Oh, you're welcome, Mary. Mary just said, thank you for sharing. That's great. And so I'm going to stop share here on this and come back to you all. And my heart of hearts, ladies, we all deserve to live a life of joy, a life of love, and a life of prosperity in all areas of our lives. The only person that can make that happen is you. Every single day, every second of that day, you have the freedom of choice, your God-given gift to choose what to think, how to feel, decisions to make. They all have consequences, whether good or bad. And they're all lessons for us in our growth as humans. So you get to choose. And that should be super. I know I got goosebumps, but we get to choose. And I'm telling this to myself as much as I'm telling this to all of you. The reason I love doing these workshops and having this community conversation, though it's not really a conversation right now, it's me communicating with you, is that I need to remind myself as well. And no matter how much work I've done on myself, training, coaching, spiritual growth, personal growth, you always need the reminders. And that's where I think we naturally progress to how do we use the lunar cycles to create our goals, our intentions, and to monitor how we feel. Yes? Yes. Good. Okay. We're getting it. So let's talk about the lunar cycles. So the moon has been followed for centuries, eons, thousands and thousands of years. Women in particular follow the moon for their cycles, their menstrual cycles. So the moon navigates and moves around the earth. So we've got the earth, we've got our moon, and every 30 days it goes around. We, the earth and the moon, travel around the sun. And that happens once a year, right? So who here is into astrology? Who here ever reads their horoscopes? Yeah. It's a lot more complicated than just reading a horoscope. I used to read my horoscope all the time. Now I've dove in and really deep into the astrology aspect of it since the lunar cycle work came into my awareness. And so the sun is our masculine, it's our dominant, it's our solar plexus chakra. That's where lives here just underneath the breastbone, right? It's yellow, it's fiery, it's masculine, it's confidence. It's where our self-worth resides, right? And it's about go and getting things done. As women, we've learned through history that the only way to be heard and seen and be taken seriously is to get shit done. So we've lost our ability to work with the feminine energy, the feminine power, which is equally as powerful as the sun power, the warrior power, right? Our feminine energy, the emotions governed by the moon, is in our sacral chakra. That's the color orange. That's just below the belly button. And that is where our emotions reside. That's where our creativity resides. That's where we birth new ideas, we birth children. That's where we bring everything down. So when we're manifesting, I'm going to do a bit of a chakra talk here right now before I go into the lunar thing, just so it sort of brings it all into so maybe bring some clarity into it. Is that we all want to manifest good things. And when we work with energy, the chakras are our energy wheels that are aligned in our body. We work typically with the 7 main ones, and that's all I'm going to talk about briefly today. But many want to manifest all these good things in their lives. So they set their goals, they visualize, but they don't clear their energy funnel. Okay, so if you see the energy funnel runs through us, our crown energy, which is at the top of our head, our crown energy is our connection to the divine, to the universe. It's where we get these ideas that come in and we're like, oh, that's a great idea. Where did I get that idea? Right? And it comes in, you're like, oh, very cool. I'm going to get going on this. That is is a color violet, very, very high vibration. If it's blocked, we don't get those. We're sort of stuck. We could be probably stuck in the mud. We don't. So you have to sort of open up to the idea that we are all one. We are all connected energetically together. We're all energy. And as we we get that great idea, we manifest down into our third eye, located the center of your forehead. That's right. It's our third eye. It's an indigo blue, very dark, like the night skies. That is our intuition. So we get these great downloads. We go, yeah, that's good. Intuitively, Christina, yeah, you have lots of great ideas. That's awesome, right? And our intuition is here, and we're like, okay, we go inward. Our inner eye sees our wisdom, and if that's blocked, right, it doesn't come back. It doesn't come to vocal. We need to then take those ideas, those dreams, those goals, and we need to start voicing them in our throat chakra. Here, the blue in my hair, that's throat chakra, right? And that's where we start speaking our truth, where we start hearing things. So we bring everything down. I've got this great idea, this business idea. I want to do this, that, the other thing, and you start talking about it, brings it more into reality. We're getting down into lower energies. And then we're going, I like this idea, it feels great. I'm going to do this, that, the other thing. And then you go, let's check in with our heart. Let's check in with our heart. It's the color green, emerald green. There's pink in there as well. And we go, do I love this? And this is where you start getting blocked, right? This is self-love, love of others. This is about um, giving and receiving. How many of you are great at giving? Yeah. How good are you at receiving? Without guilt or without deflecting it back at people. We are really blocked in here, especially if we've had our hearts broken, where we've opened up and loved unconditionally, like we tend to do when we're younger. We love our parents unconditionally until they do something that breaks our heart. Yeah, it is work. It is work. And it doesn't always feel good, right? I fell in love, so deeply in love with this boy in grade 12. He was my world. We were going to get married. We are going to have hundreds and hundreds of children. And I thought I was so in love with him, that he was the best thing on the planet, until he broke my heart. What I didn't realize is that I was codependent. I was needy. I was coming from a place that the only way I could feel worthy and loved is is through another person. It took me years to let that go. And I did run into him many, many years later after I had Cassidy. And he didn't even freaking recognize me. He didn't even I went up to him and I said, "Hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a long time." And he's like, "Who are you?" I love this boy so deeply. I was devastated, absolutely devastated. And the things that I did in that emotional angst, as he cheated on me and broke up with me and then came back to me, and that whole cycle, the behaviors that I exhibited during that time, I look back on and go, oh my God, oh my God. I'm not proud of many of them. So you let that go. It's like, what did I learn? What did I learn? I learned that I don't need another person to complete me. That type of love is actually destructive. That I'm worth more than what he was giving me. And that I had to learn to love myself unconditionally, no matter what. Love my sad pieces, love my ugly pieces, love my, middle-aged spread pieces, all that stuff, right? Gotta love all that. That's who I am. So we get blocked in this heart chakra. So we bring those manifestation, those ideas into here. And if we have any blockages in that area, we're going to have a hard time moving past and bringing that dream into reality. So we're bringing more into the physical the lower we go in our chakras. So yeah, I love this idea. I can really get behind this idea. I'm going to start making it happen. And we move down into the next chakra, and that is our solar plexus. That's our fire. That's our warrior. That's where we as women burn out all the time, where we're burning the candle at both ends. And that's where we run into huge trouble. We take action and then we get filled with doubts and then we stop. So we need to work on clearing the energy and the memories and the emotions from those chakras. That is yellow, right? So if we get stuck there, how are we supposed to make our dreams, our goals, our actions into reality if we're stuck in that chakra energetically? So we need to clear that out. Then we get that idea, we're starting to take action, it's starting to be birthed. We move into the sacral chakra, which is our orange chakra, our emotions. That's where we flow, right? That's where our creativity, our sensuality comes in. That's our feminine power. And that chakra is ruled by, who can guess what that chakra is ruled by? The, good guess, Mary, you're almost there. Moon, yes. The moon, our lunar goddess in the sky, guiding us, changing. She changes every second of every day as she interacts with the earth and the sun. As we do, we're changing every second of every day. So in total alignment with the energy of the moon as she navigates around the earth, and we navigate around the sun, right? She's with us every second of the day, whether we see her or not. So if we're blocked in the sacral chakra, that's where, we have a hard time creating. We're like, I'm not creative. Well, no, we're creating every single day despite ourselves. We can't help ourselves. But then that's where we carry our emotions. And if we have emotional blockages, then that's going to be a problem. The element for the sacral chakra is water. And that's an area that I'm really working on. I think I've done a lot of work on the element of fire in the solar plexus, but water, right? And then so if we clear that out, then boom, we're down at the bottom. We're at the root chakra, the base chakra, the color red. That's where we actually make material things happen. That's our physical bodies. We're connected to the earth. We're grounded. And that's where things actually manifest into reality. So we're bringing it up from the ethers, from the universe. We're bringing those dreams and ideas and bringing them into our vision. We're speaking them out. Yeah, it does make sense, doesn't it, Mary? Right? We're setting goals and taking action, which we'll be doing here shortly. We're going with the flow. We're getting creative in how we do that in our sacral chakra, and then we're rooting it in there, and we're actually bringing it into our reality. So chakra work on an energetic level, which is our vibration, when cleared, will clear the path for us to actually achieve success in our goals. So we got to deal with our emotions, which are caused by our thoughts. Our thoughts come from our experiences and stored in our unconscious mind, what we've been taught along the way, right? And then we're energy, and that gets blocked in our energy. It gets blocked in our bodies. It gets blocked energetically. And doing this work as a daily practice, attending the meetings, doing the work, chakra dancing, chanting, visualizing, letting go of this stuff, you're going to start manifesting more and more and more. Now let's move into the lunar cycles. Any questions to this date? Because I'm going to start really going fast now, because I could probably do this all day. Any questions, anybody? No? Okay, cool. So let's talk about the lunar cycle. As I said, the moon goddess, the lunar goddess, she's in the sky. She's changing every second of every day. She's at her brightest, the full moon, she's at her brightest when she's opposite the sun. She's at her darkest, the new moon, right now, at about 10:30 or so here in the west coast of Canada, that she was the darkest, the new moon. That's when the light of the sun is totally blocked. So the new moon represents new beginnings. The new moon is the best time to go inward because it's dark, it's quiet, to set your intentions, which we're going to do today. You can call them new moon wishes, intentions, not airy fairy, because we actually want to put some meat behind those goals, and we're going to do that. And every month there's a new moon, every 29 days or so. So every 29 days we do new moon intention setting. We take stock. So then we move out of that new moon energy, because we're always moving. The moon's always moving, transiting around us. And then we're moving away from this, moving around the sun. We then move into a waxing crescent moon, where you'll start to see the sliver of the moon, the light starts to get brighter again. This is when we move into our action, our solar plexus chakra, right? We're going to act on our intentions during this next phase. So we've set our intentions, we're going to move into action. It's pedal to the metal, time to go. And that lasts, 3, 4 days. Then we move into the first quarter moon, which to me doesn't make any sense because the first quarter moon is actually where you see half light, half dark in the sky, right? You'd think that'd be the half moon, but it's the first quarter moon. This is where emotionally and energetically you might run into challenges. And this is your doubts might come here because you've stepped into some actions with your goals and your dreams and your intent. You started doing some things. You might be getting some feedback from the universe. People may not be tied into your goal. They may not be listening to you. Maybe you're not getting the feedback or the likes or the hearts or the proper feedback you want from what it is you're doing. You might, like a new baby, setting out for the first time, he's taken a step. He's looking at mom and dad, or she's looking at mom and dad going, am I doing this right? Right? Am I doing this right? And if that baby doesn't get positive affirmation, then it's going to start feeling doubtful. Or if it gets negative feedback, it might trigger doubts. As we get older, obviously those doubts build up, those limiting beliefs show up, and we stop ourselves. So this is where you then look back and go, okay, what's getting in the way? What do I need to let go of and release? Then we are seeing more of the moon. It's called the gibbous moon. This is the light is getting brighter and brighter and brighter. That's when we start getting more emotional, right? Full moon crazies come out as we get closer to the moon. We've all seen that. The police have said during a full moon, things start getting a little crazy at the police department. The hospitals get busier. People with mental health issues feel more sensitive. So if you're sensitive, if you're empathic, you may feel that energy. The planet might be just going crazy with that full moon vibration as we move into full moon cycles, right? So if we're aware of what is to come, we can be prepared for those things. So as we hit then to the full moon, that's when everything's exposed. Those are the perfect time when the energies and the emotions are running hot at full moon time, where we do our full moon ceremonies, or we go, whoa, what's causing my emotions to run so high? What am I behaving and reacting to? What is it triggering? What limiting beliefs? What past experiences are coming up for me to let go? Who do I need to forgive? Right? So forgiveness really comes into play here. And we do our full moon forgiveness and release work. Right? And it could be just a business partner. It could be a client that's triggered us, which if we haven't healed past traumas, they'll get triggered too. So it's the perfect time every month at the full moon to sit, come in ceremony, to let go, release, forgive external factors and ourselves. Forgiveness work, that's a whole workshop in itself, the 4 levels of forgiveness. It's powerful. So there's the cycle, right? And then we start going from full moon back into darkness, right? So then we start processing everything, right? What we've been through, we're letting go, we're releasing, we're reassessing our intentions as we get closer back to that new moon again. We're getting into the darker phases. And we're going, okay, what is not working for me? What of these intentions are not working for me? What are the goals and the actions that I'm doing are not working for me? What are they not doing? And do I need to shift? Do I need to set different goals? Do I need to tweak things? Do I need to course correct? Right? Because you can set an overarching goal, but that doesn't mean that it's all going to come into play the way you think it's going to come into play. And we'll talk about that in the next segment. Right? So allow what didn't work to fall away so that you can move forward unencumbered. So cut the ties to what's not working. Reevaluate. And then we get very close back to the new moon again. It's very soothing. You've got a little, again, a little sliver in the sky, but on the opposite side of the moon. And it's very soothing. It's a powerful healing time to make peace with your life before the new moon cycle, rebirthing cycle begins again. So when you start following that cycle, you can plan your goals, you can set times in your calendar to reassess, to release, to reevaluate, and start afresh. Every new moon is the time where we can start fresh again. Questions? No? Okay. So now is the time of the meeting. We've got an hour left here. Does anybody need a quick bio break? Or are we good to go? Good to go? In relation to goals, so Christine is asking, in relation to goals, how can we think of time and check in to be syncing with the moon energy? Good question. And I will answer that soon. So let's get to our new moon intent. Okay, first we're going to do the new moon reflection. So if you get your worksheet out, we're going to just reflect here right now. We're at the new year, the new lunar cycle. Now it's not the new year for the lunar cycle, that happens in March, April, but we're in a new year, 2022. I know many have already sort of reflected back on 2021, but I would like you to think of at least 4 right now areas, events, people, things that you've done in your life. Actually, look back and what accomplishments did you make in 2021 that you appreciate? And what in yourself do you appreciate? So I'm just going to give you a few minutes to do that exercise. Okay. Just give me the thumbs up when you're done. Are you doing Christina as well?
I'm here.
Okay. You're done? Okay.
Not quite yet.
Not quite? Okay. Just let me know.
Mhm.
I had to turn the heat on. I was freezing down here. Okay, great. Thanks, Christina. So starting with appreciation, starting your day with appreciation, ending your day with appreciation is a great way to turn your mood around, to be able to let go of the maybe your stuckness, the area where maybe you need to lighten your energy a little bit. So remembering what is good in your life, appreciating, even if you can't find anything, you can appreciate the air that you're breathing, the tiniest of little things. So what I wrote down in mine, as I look back in 2021, there's a lot I could, we should actually have Esther Hicks actually says we should be doing a positive aspects journal where every day we write in this or appreciation journal, everything we appreciate about our life, ourselves, our positive attributes. Because that keeps us on that path of going down flow of the river and going with the flow. And it changes our energy. Because it's so easy to focus on what's not going well in your life. Because it's in our faces all the time. It's our inner way, our fight or flight stress response way of it thinks is keeping us safe, but it's not. So if you can start with appreciation in everything that you do. So for me in 2021, I think the biggest thing that I appreciate about myself is my ability to keep going. No matter what obstacle, rock, stone, energetic block gets put in my path, I keep going. I keep going, I keep going, I keep going. My brother died. I kept going. I also appreciate my ability to recognize in myself time when I need to go inward and process and to let go of things and verbalize it. Whereas before I'd go, but I would block myself. I wouldn't feel anything, right? I can't feel anything. It's too painful. I'm going to fall to pieces. If I can't let go, or if I allow myself the privilege of letting go, I'm going to fall to pieces and never be able to pick myself back up. Not true. Not true. Yeah, so that's one thing there that I put for myself. Carmen, would you like to share one thing that you appreciate?
so many things, but right now I appreciate the fact that I allow myself to trust someone else to care for me. Whereas before it was I who was the one always caring for everybody else. This is a fairly new thing for me.
Beautiful. So you're allowing yourself to receive. What a beautiful lesson, Carmen. Thank you. Christina.
I mostly appreciate the health of myself and my family.
Yeah, so important. Self-care, self-love, health, paramount to anything we do in life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Christina. Mary.
Only one?
Yeah, just one.
I sought out help. Yeah,
Awesome.
in different aspects, but yeah.
Yeah, good. So you recognize the need for receiving. Again, it's all about receiving support. Good. We're not meant to be on this journey alone. We're meant to be on this journey in community. Even if it's just to have somebody to listen to, have listened to you. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So now that we're in this energetic energy, let's move forward with setting some intentions and some goals. And I'm going to just do a brief rundown on how to set goals based on, if I can find my handout here, bear with me, using NLP. So my goal setting for success. We've all learned how to set goals for SMART goals, right? And this is similar, but it's got a couple added twists and special ingredients that I think are super powerful. So when you're setting goals and intentions, you want to know your outcome. So I don't have a handout for this because I didn't have time to update it, but know your outcome. So ask yourself, and I ask myself this when I meditate, what do I want? What do you want? What do you want to achieve? What are you working towards? Spend time dreaming and creating a vision of what you want it to look like. This is where we go into our third eye, right? What's your intuition and imagination? Not what you think you want, what your inner heart is asking for, what your intuition and your inner wisdom is guiding you to do. Because we've been so programmed to think we need to do these things or be these things based on our conditioning. But what does your heart want? What are your heart's desires? So you can use color or symbols or pictures or words for inspiration. You want to set them with emotion. How do you want to feel? Is there a predominant feeling you want to be guided by? We're using the lunar cycles to do this. So my predominant feeling and theme for 2022 is joy. So am I doing what is making me feel joyful? And adventure. My theme is adventure. So set those up for yourself. You want to take inspired action. So once you've got your overalling big, juicy new moon or the year goal that you want to set for yourself, you want to be able to break that goal down into small, bite-sized chunks. That way you avoid overwhelm, right? So chunk it down into little bite-sized pieces. What 3 things can you do every day? And this in itself is another workshop. Each day that will make you feel accomplished. Notice I lead with feelings. Things you can do to feel accomplished, which will keep you moving forward, that will take you towards your goal. And don't forget to celebrate those intentions and those actions and those things that you're doing every day. And build that celebration muscle up. Now here you want to go, you're setting your goals, you're painting the vision. is there any resistance? Is there anything in your past that maybe you've done for yourself that blew up in your face, where you fell flat on your face with it? Do you have any goal resistance, any goal trauma? Excuse me. Anything there? And just make note of it. Where are you in relation to your goal? Right? You want to be flexible. Right? So what I mean by this is a spiritual law of non-attachment. Just like when I said earlier, you don't want to attach to your thoughts because they're not you. You do not want to attach to your emotions. They just float in and out. It's the same with your goals and your dreams. You set the intention, you set the goal, then you take action in present moment awareness. You're open to how it's going to happen. If you have a fixed vision that it has to happen this way and this way and this way, you've got your blinders on, and you're going to miss out on opportunities, resources, people, and ideas and inspirations that come along the way because you're going to be blinded. Okay? So you need to be flexible. So I always say, have an intention, pay attention, but have no tension on how it comes in to your awareness. So be open to the various ways it may show up for you. Any questions so far? No? Okay. So you want to be specific. You want to be so specific in your goals that even a 5-year-old would understand it. What specifically do you want to achieve? You don't want to say, I want to make more money. You want to say, I want to make $2,000 a month more than I am making now, or I want to make $10,000 a month, or I want to release 2 pounds a month, or make it very measurable. So it's very easy. The unconscious mind is like a little child, and it really wants to do its best for you. It's going to take you there, but it needs to understand it. Very simple. They want to be meaningful. So how important to you is it for you to achieve the goal? And what will compel you to move forward? How exciting is it? Right? So, and how will you benefit? I'll rejig this worksheet and send it out to you guys. It has to be achievable and authentic. So when you're starting to manifest, you can start with small little things. I always think it's great to have big, juicy goals that you want to achieve, but then to break it down into little bite size so that you start building success, and success builds on itself, right? More energy builds more energy, more success builds more success. You're going to start feeling more confident. That's going to build more confidence. Celebrating it, you're going to celebrate it more. You're going to be able to be vocal about it. So are they achievable? You want it to be responsible, so in a way that is ethical, that is in the greater good for you, for your clients, for the universe, for the planet. It's your goal for you, not for somebody else, because you alone are responsible for achieving it. And it involves time. So give it a date of completion and work backwards. So start at the final step and work back. So when you're setting your intentions and your goals, you want to write them. So tell yourself a story. It's 2023. I am reviewing 2022, and I'm so excited to be celebrating that I accomplished this, celebrated that. I'm looking at my bank account and it's got $50,000 in it, whatever that is. So you want to write it as if it's already happened. You want to have it very visual. It's like you're watching the movie of your life in 2022. And how are you behaving? How are you feeling? What are you saying? Who's in that movie with you? What music is in that movie with you? What are the sounds? Are you in nature? So for Christina, maybe you're hosting beautiful chakra healing retreats around the world. And you're looking back at 2022 and you've hosted 2 or 3 beautiful retreats. You see the smiles and joy and healing on your participants' faces. It fills you up with light and love, fills up your bank account. You're able to do this, that, the other thing for you and your family. Yes, right? So you want to describe it in a way that you're watching this beautiful movie. It's like a Hallmark movie, but it's your movie. Because I love Hallmark. They make me feel so good. Always a happy ending. Always a happy ending. All right, so let's move into our new moon intentions worksheet and spend some time there. And while you're working on that, so your theme, the impact it's going to have on your life. What is your biggest, most exciting intention, wish, or goal for this new moon? And then turn it into an affirmation as if it's already happening. And then write 3 micro goals that will move you towards, propel you forward, compel you forward in excitement. You're working towards this beautiful thing. You're not running away from pain or suffering or defeat. You're moving towards this beautiful feeling of accomplishment. And while you're writing that, I'm just going to give you a bit of a breakdown on, right now we're in this new moon in Capricorn. It's a perfect time to plan. It's the time of ambitious. Capricorn is the ambitious sign in the zodiac. It's a time to be really kind to yourself. It's also the time for you to be aware of where you're hanging on to things too tightly, where you are too controlling. So what do you need to avoid controlling? How can you let things go to allow things to happen as they will? It's also a very good time and a good place is to establish traditions and rituals as we're doing today. We're setting our intentions. We're learning about our emotions and thoughts and understanding our chakras a little bit more. And that's the new moon in Capricorn. The energy of the Capricornian. I don't even know if that's a word, but it sounded okay. So let's take a few minutes to do our new moon intentions, and then we're going to end with a beautiful meditation and hypnosis. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Again, thumbs up when you're done, okay? You done, Mary? Okay. I'm just going to pull a new moon manifestation card for us as a group. I know that I'm sure you can use the worksheet to set lots of goals for yourselves. So Christina, you're asking if I was to, hold on here. Can't hear myself think with the music in the background. So if I was to set the goal of offering retreats to corporations on a monthly basis or so, the micro goals would be, hopefully you're okay with me sharing this, reach out with an offer, yes. And how would I know the other two if I never did it before? Okay. Well, the other two could be reach out with an offer, follow up, offer demos, pay them a visit, advertising, LinkedIn, things like that. Just little things you can do. So I pulled a card for us. Hopefully that helps, Christina. The card that I pulled for us for this new moon is actually the new moon in Pisces. And the message is attune to the divine. Attune to the divine. So Let me just look that up. I'm learning all these. Okay. So you have the opportunity to, this is perfect card actually, because it's what we were talking about, is you have the opportunity to slip into the flow of life now. When that happens, you want what is happening, and what is happening is what you want. So what you want is happening, and what is happening is what you want. Your manifesting is working perfectly. Just make sure that you stay attuned to your higher self, and you'll be well on your way to feeling blissfully happy and in tune with your dreams. Okay. The affirmation is, my conscious dreams create my reality. And the best time for visualization for this particular card to work your magic is Thursdays. That is the Jupiter's day when the moon is in Pisces. It's a little bit more complex than what I've been talking to you about. So attune to the divine. Allow the universe, the divine, to assist you in bringing your dreams into reality. Beautiful. Read that again. I just put it away, Mary. Oh, wrong one. Well, I can read that again. Attune to the divine. You have the opportunity to slip into the flow of life now. When that happens, you want what is happening, and what is happening is what you want. Your manifesting is working perfectly. Just make sure you stay attuned to your higher self, and you'll be well on your way to feeling blissfully happy and in tune with your dreams. Meditation is the best way to tune in and connect with your higher self. Okay. And the affirmation, again, this is being recorded, so I'll send the recording out. My conscious dreams create my reality. What you think about is what you feel about, is what you bring about. Yeah. You're welcome. Okay. So the next, let's just all open up our mics here and maybe share a little bit about that process. And then when we're done that, I'll lead you into your meditation. Yes? Okay, who wants to start? Who's excited for what they've set their intention and goal for? Mary is, Carmen is. Come on, speaker, people. Come on, ladies. Let's share.
I'm super stoked.
Not be shy. We want to set that out into the universe. So let's share and all create this manifesting energy together. So you're first, Mary.
I'm super stoked.
Good.
Yeah. What I'm manifesting is I'm actually helping people. So the more people I can help, the better the world is. I understand that, but also the better this world is.
Yes.
Super excited.
Good. And so is there a specific goal that you wrote down that you can send out there?
My goal or my affirmation?
Okay, do your affirmation. Beautiful.
I'm so happy and grateful now that I have 8 new paid 90-day clients. I'm happy, healthy, and well. All is good.
Beautiful. And so it is, and it will be. Thank you. Carmen, what's your affirmation?
actually find it difficult to put some of these thoughts to paper, but you know me, Barb, I'm a creative person and I love to draw. I love to share my art.
Mhm.
I guess it all comes down to joy through art. And anybody can learn that. Joy through art.
Joy through art. I like that.
I know.
And just remember that it doesn't have to be words. It can be colors, symbols, right? So if you're going to create a vision board
Okay.
for yourself or a mood board, or you're an artist, so you could paint yourself a picture of what it is you've accomplished. Yes?
Yes, I still have my original one I did with you
Awesome.
and 2 new ones.
Excellent. Good, good. Christina.
I am so happy and grateful to be making 10,000 a month with joy and ease and pleasure while dancing my chakras and facilitating the space for other women to do so. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you. Beautiful share. And I
Thank
see
you.
that for you, for sure, for sure. So you can use this format and create more goals. I was going to provide a life wheel so you could set an intention for each of the wheels. But again, this is just a 2-hour workshop and we're almost done. So I'll share with you mine for my intention for my personal self right now is I dance and move with a body that is healthy, light, 135 pounds. I feel buoyant, flexible, and strong. Not achy and creaky. And so it is. And I've broken
So
down.
it is.
So it is, everybody. So it is. And I've already broken it down to 3 little things that I can start with. You want to start with small things, little things, because like I'd said before, as you accomplishment, acknowledge your accomplishment, celebrate your accomplishment, you're going to build confidence. You're going to build that energy and that vibration that you want of accomplishment. And you're going to start to feel good about this, feel good about the things that you're doing. So you'll spend less time in doubt or overwhelm or in any of those other lower vibration feelings. So you want to raise your vibration energetically, bring an awareness around where it is you are feeling a little bit blocked, clear those blockages out, seek help if you need help in clearing those blockages out. Christina, you had asked before, or is it here? How can we think of a time and check-in to be syncing with the moon's energy? There are several apps out there you can download for free. And so you can continue, I think you're in the lunar mindfulness group. So you can check in there. I'll be posting more on that as we go along. I'll be hosting these workshops every month, probably twice a month because I like to do the new moon and the full moon. And also too, once I get I'll be doing the membership, a monthly membership. It's not ready to be announced yet. If you want to be in that, that will be more worksheets, more one-on-one stuff, more meditations and hypnosises, versus, today we've covered a lot of different things that in and of themselves could be really deep workshops, deep teachings and learnings that would go deeper in the membership as well. So that's how you can do that. But you can get books if you want to order a great book. I don't know if she's still got any available, but Yasmin Boland, Moonology Diary 2022. They come in a limited supply, but I ordered mine a while ago. I know she's got a few left, but it's a beautiful diary, tells you where we are in the lunar cycles, what to do, so on and so forth. So it's a great book to have. And I'm taking her certification course right now. So very cool. Okay. So it's 11:42. We've done a lot. Now it's time to lock it in a meditation and hypnosis.